American families are struggling. There's a lot of misery in America today. And these numbers understate what people are feeling and the amount of pain which is occurring in middle-class America.
They know that their economic theory isn't going to sell. So all they've got to argue is the economy's not moving as fast as it needs to. Jobs aren't growing as fast as they need to, and it's all Obama's fault. That's basically their only message. Now, I guess this is a plan to win an election, but it's not a plan to create jobs.
Sparks are flying and fingers are wagging on the U.S. election campaign trail over sputtering economy. It's taking center stage in the race for the White House. New numbers out today are adding fuel to the fire. They show the jobless rate for Americans stuck at 8.2%. So which presidential candidate can convince voters they're the right one to turn things around? It's time to go stateside. Joining me now from Washington is Simon Rosenberg, president of the New Democratic Network, and in Calgary, taking in the stampede is former American ambassador to Canada, David Wilkins. Thank you for joining me, gentlemen.
Thank you. Good to be here.
We just heard both Obama and Romney reacting to the weaker than expected U.S. job numbers for June. Just 80,000 jobs added, not enough to cut the 8.2% unemployment rate. Simon, how much of this election may turn on who voters think is the best to turn the economy around? How is Obama going to convince voters he's the man to restore the economy?
Well, I think that is going to be the core of the debate for the next 4 months, is that who's got a better plan and who can take where the economy is today and make it better, not just this year, but in the years to come. And I do want to say that as the job numbers today were mixed. I mean, more jobs were created in the month of June than they were in April and May. There was clearly an uptick from earlier in the quarter, but we're not where we need to be. And I do think I agree with your question that the debate now is going to be, who's got a better plan for the economy today.
David Wilkins, despite consistently weak numbers from the economy, Mitt Romney hasn't really been able to turn the tide in his favor with voters. Still a tight race, but many polls have him trailing Obama. Why is this?
Well, I think he's just got to get his message out. He's continuing to do that. But as you know, in our system, it boils down to about 12 swing states. So it's not the general national polls that count. It's how the people in those 12 states think about the economy. And I agree with Simon. The economy is the #1 issue. It is the issue on every American's mind. And a recent Rasmussen poll showed that only 31% of Americans think that Obama is the best one to handle the economy. And if that doesn't change, it does not bode well for our incumbent president. We've never had an incumbent president reelected with unemployment over 8%. The numbers today, 8.2%. June ends the second quarter of the year. It's the worst second quarter we've had in 2 years. And so things just don't seem to be getting better.
But it's not just voters Romney has to convince, but some of the most influential voices in the conservative political establishment. Yesterday, the Wall Street Journal published a scathing editorial criticizing Romney for his missteps in the campaign so far, ending with this line. Take a look. Mr. Romney promised Republicans he was the best man to make the case against President Obama, whom they desperately want to defeat. So far, Mr. Romney is letting them down. Ambassador Wilkins, that's pretty harsh. What does the Romney camp need to do now to convince conservatives that he can wage a successful campaign against Obama?
Well, I think he just needs to, with laser accuracy, beam in on the economy. Certainly he can stress the Obama record of the last 4 years, and he can't run from that. But in addition to attacking the record and stating the case that we have a poor, sluggish economy, it doesn't seem to be getting better, he's got to come up with a plan. He's got to convince the American people that he has a plan to improve the economy based on his experience in the business sector, that he's the best qualified. And until he does that, it's going to be neck and neck.
Even the main owner of the paper, as well as Fox News' Rupert Murdoch, has weighed in. Here's what he had to say on Twitter. Take a look. When is Romney going to look like a challenger? Seems to play everything safe. Makes no news except burn off Hispanics. Simon, it seems as if Romney is really struggling to find an issue he can win on. Is this now Obama's race to lose?
Look, I think if the election were held today, Barack Obama would get reelected. But, the election's 4 months from now. But I think, the president feels like he's in pretty good shape here. In the debate on the economy, I appreciate what the ambassador said, but, the Romney campaign does have a message. They've embraced the Ryan plan on the economy. It's deeply unpopular. It will drive the country into recession. It will actually increase our debt, not lower it. And I think that Mitt Romney, like on health care, like on immigration, is just out of sync with where the American people is. I think the Obama team is ready for this debate. They want to have this debate. They're ready to get on to the conventions in the fall. They think they have a winning message, the balanced economic plan that they have, which has investments in education, transportation, all the things that we know that creates growth along with deficit reduction. It's a better path forward for the country than the Romney economic plan, and I think that's why the Obama team is so ready to get on with this campaign.
David Wilkins, do you think that the Romney campaign is playing it too safe, as Rupert Murdoch was saying?
I think next 4 months you'll see an aggressive campaign by Governor Romney. I think he first has to point out the failure of the Obama administration. The economy has not gotten better under his watch. His policies have not worked. And then he's got to lay out his policies. And as Simon said, next 4 months it's going to be hot and heavy. It's going to be a very close race. A lot of debate, a lot of accusations back and forth, and we'll see how the American people settle this thing. But I look at a very tight race from now going into Election Day.
Do you think he has a lot of work to do then?
Well, I think both candidates have a lot of work to do. I think the American people are unhappy with the way the country is going. They are, as I said, 31% of the American people think Obama is handling the economy correctly. That means a large majority do not. So I think both candidates have their challenges going forward.
And Ambassador Wilkins, we can't let you go without asking you how you are enjoying the 100th anniversary edition of Calgary. You just came from the parade, right?
I did. It was fantastic. It's my 4th Stampede. I went to 3 Stampedes while I was ambassador. First one since I returned to the United States. So certainly the first Stampede parade. Susan, my wife, and I were there early. We stayed late, and we thoroughly enjoyed it. Best parade I ever saw. It was terrific.
Sounds good. Former U.S. Ambassador to Canada, David Wilkins, and Simon Rosenberg, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.